Good morning, everyone. Please excuse my voice. I've lost my voice this morning. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Jamie Keddie, who's come Jamie Keddie, who's come here from Barcelona to join us for the weekend. Jamie is a teacher, trainer, writer, and obviously a presenter. He's the founder of www.lessonstream.org, the site that was formerly known as TFL Clips. And he's a winner of the British Council Elton's Award. His publications include Images by Oxford University Press, a book that I frequently use myself. And he's an associate teacher trainer at the Norwich Institute of Language Education in the UK. Did you manage to understand me despite my broken voice? Right, thank you. And now I'll hand over to Jamie.
Thank you very much, Roger. And thank you very much, everybody here, for being here. Are you having fun? Yeah? Me too. Yes, so great, excellent, smashing. This is called Videotelling. And a couple of people have asked me, what's this talk all about, Jamie, Videotelling? And it makes me think of, you see, I just come from Barcelona. It makes me think of Pedro. Pedro owns the local cafe bar that I go to quite a lot. And one day on his menu, he had something called carne con salsa. In Spanish, that means meat with sauce. And I said to Pedro, this carne con salsa, can you tell me a little bit about it, please? Because I was considering having it for my lunch. And he says, sí, carne salsa, carne, salsa. So, videotelling, video, storytelling. That's it, it's as simple as that. Does anyone here like YouTube? Me too. So we're all on the same boat here. You know what a couch potato is, don't you? Well, I'm a YouTube potato. Any other YouTube potatoes in here? Watch far. But the excuse is, it's all for work, right? So what we do here, it's quite simple. I'm sure you've all found yourselves videotelling in the past. If you've turned to a friend in a cafe or having a drink and you've told your friend about a clip you've seen on YouTube that you've liked, a new music video, an advert, for example, maybe a goal in slow motion on a football match the night before that you don't think should have been allowed. How about a shocking piece of news footage that you just saw on your lunch break? Any of these situations is what we call videotelling. Video is communicated to us through screen, and then we communicate our personal perspectives into words to other people. That's what videotelling is. So these activities, I'm going to show you 3 today. Simple as that. Videos that I've seen turning into words. And there's a very, very simple task for this first one that I'm going to give you. And the task is this. I'm going to tell you about a video that I saw on YouTube recently. It made me laugh. And all I want you to do is to think, have I seen this before or not? I think there will be some people here who have seen the video before. Are you ready? Shall I come down here? Because I might have to speak to... Can everybody see me up there? Excellent. Okay, well, this video that I saw on YouTube recently, it starts somewhere in the USA, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Somewhere in the USA. I think it's summer because the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. And there are 5 people standing beside a swimming pool. What do you think they're wearing? Imagine, what do you think they're wearing? Swimsuits. What else? Sunglasses, swimsuits, sunglasses. What about if they're men? Sun hats, flip-flops. Well, they told me it was going to be sunny and hot here, you know, so, you know. Swimsuits, sun hats, flip-flops, sunglasses. What if they're men? Because there are 3 men here. What would the men be? Swim shorts. Let me you say swimsuits, swim shorts, sunglasses, swimming trunks, flip-flops. Yeah, that's what I would call just a lexical chant. Take a theme, think of 5 pieces of lexis, pieces of vocabulary from it, one for every finger, and just drill it like that as a chant. Well, actually, you'd expect them to be wearing swimsuits, wouldn't you? And you'd expect them to be wearing swimming shorts, wouldn't you? And sunglasses, you'd expect them to be wearing sunglasses, and flip-flops. You wouldn't expect me to be wearing flip-flops, but I am. And you'd expect them to be wearing sun hats, wouldn't you? But they're not. They're not wearing any of those things. Shall I tell you what they're wearing? We've got 3 men and we've got 2 women. One of the women is wearing a beautiful long yellow dress. And she's holding a bunch of grapes. Did you say grapes? Yeah. Excellent guess. But it's not the right answer. A bunch of keys. Did somebody say keys? Who said keys? Yeah. Still not the right answer. She's holding a bunch of flowers, exactly. A bunch of onions. She's holding a bunch of flowers, but it's funny you should say that because she is actually a fruit seller. So on another day, she may well be holding a bunch of onions. And her husband's a locksmith. So another day, she may well be holding a bunch of keys. So you weren't wrong. You just weren't right either. Yeah. The other woman's wearing a long, beautiful white dress. And the 3 men are wearing dark suits. What's going on here? What is this? Yeah, it's a wedding. Yeah. Do you like weddings? Put up your hand if you like weddings. Put up your hand if you don't like weddings. If you don't like weddings, why not? If you do like weddings, understandable, free food. If you don't like weddings, why not? What's your problem? Come on, get it all out. What's wrong with weddings? You have to do yourself up. Duda. And what does that mean? You have to do that up. Okay, that's my new term for the day. Whenever anyone asks me why I don't like weddings, I'm going to say because I have to do that up. Exactly, you have to do that up. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of weddings. Has anyone here been to a wedding in the last week? The last 2 weeks? Since Christmas? In the last year? Yeah, you have. Can you identify these 5 people? There's 2 women, 3 men. Can you identify the most important woman? Who's she? The bride. The second most important woman. The most important man. The second most important man. Who's number 5? Exactly, the priest. Yeah, the priest. Yeah. What's the difference between a wedding and a marriage? Concept checking question coming up here. Which is longer, a wedding or a marriage? You'd expect the marriage. Have you ever noticed that the difference between a wedding and the difference between a marriage is the same difference between the verb to get and the verb to be? It's funny that, isn't it? It's interesting, isn't it? That's thought for the day. Get married, be married. Anyway, let's hear these people. We've got bride and groom, best man, bridesmaid, and the priest. This is another lexical drill. Bride and groom, best man, bridesmaid, and the priest. Everybody, pretend you're my students. Bride and groom, best man, bridesmaid. These are just demonstrating some activities, techniques that I would use if this was a language class. Bride and groom, best man, bridesmaid, and the priest. It's good, isn't it? You write these things on the board, don't you? And students copy them into their book. But this is just a little chant that takes it one step further, hopefully taking it from the board, hopefully taking steps towards implanting it, even if it's just in the short term, into students' mind. Hopefully They might even acquire it. Anyway, you're absolutely right. These are the 5 people. You're absolutely right what they're wearing. This is a wedding. It's a beautiful day beside a swimming pool. This is the moment where they are taking their vows. Now, what do you say when you take your vows? I do. Or you could say, I don't. Who said that? Are you married? You are. Which did you say? I do. Did you at any time? Oh, that's good to hear. A what, sorry? She says no, doesn't she? You feel really sorry for the man. What do you need when you're taking your vows? What do you need? 2 questions for you. Who wears the rings and who carries the rings? Who wears the rings? Yeah, bride and groom. Who carries the rings? So at this stage, we need the best man. And the best man steps forward. And at this moment, disaster strikes. Disaster. What do you think happens? What do you think happened? You said, he's forgotten the rings. That's a disaster. But in fact, he's got them right there. He's got the 2 rings in his hand. No problem there. You can call this best man a lot of things, but you can't call him forgetful. Any other ideas? Yeah. He slips on the bride's dress, and as a result, what happens? He falls into the... Okay. You've made it a bit warmer. It was very cold before, but you've made it a bit warmer. Okay, the idea of falling into the swimming pool is an idea that we're going to explore. So well done, you've made it warmer. Who could make it even hotter? Sorry? He realizes he's in love with the bride. With the groom. That's fantastic. I love that idea. But you've made it a little bit colder. Well, in some respects you made it hotter, but in this one you've made it a little bit colder. Make it hotter. Anybody? Yes. Okay, so we're going to explore the idea of falling into the pool. We're going to keep it around about there because you're still on the right lines, but we're going to get more specific here. So you think the orca, you think it jumps out? Okay, this is interesting. Very cold, I'm sorry about that. You've just made it very, very cold. That's okay, we can make it hotter, quick, make it hotter. Okay, you've made it substantially more hot, that's good. Okay, that's the hottest so far. We're about here. We've just got to go up here. What? Yes, you say it again. What was it? You said he pushes the priest into the pool. Why does he push the priest into the pool? Accidentally. Put up your hands if you think he does it accidentally. Put up your hand if you think he does it on purpose. Okay. He does it accidentally. How does this happen? He stumbles, he stumbles. The best man steps forward. He stumbles and preposition onto. You've just made it. Oh, we're so close to there. Repeat after me, everybody. The best man steps forward. He stumbles and pushes the bride and priest into the pool. I'll show you the clip if you can guess what the title of that clip is on YouTube. What do you think the title is? Disaster wedding. What adjective might you use to describe this best man? Clumsy, you said. Well done. Okay, here's the clip. Are you ready?
covenant of marriage. Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you both shall live? The rings, please.
Oh, God! No! Oh, my God! Are you okay?
I can't believe you laughed at that. You terrible, terrible people laughing at this poor woman on her day, which is supposed to be the most perfect day that she's ever had. And here you are, we're all laughing at her. Why are we doing that? It's funny, isn't it? People who talk about the science of humor and the science of jokes break things down into three parts, one of them being a superiority aspect. Why do we laugh at a man slipping on a banana skin? There's a superiority aspect there that we can't escape, and maybe that comes into play here. Did you see what we did there? Apart from using these techniques of drilling and chanting, eliciting words, what we did, one of the main things we did there was to drive the narrative. We drove the narrative of the video using questions. You did a lot of the work, and we started in this journey from start to finish through this series of questions, didn't we? And that's one of the most important things I think that teachers can do, not just in video telling, but in storytelling in general, is to prepare specifically what they're going to say and how they're going to say it, but also what they're going to ask, what questions to ask. Because as storytellers in the classroom, we want to look at ways to get students interacting, don't we? So think of questions that can drive a narrative, and I hope I've demonstrated that with this activity. By the way, this activity is on my website, Lesson Stream. It's called Videotelling, and you get the video, and you also get a PDF which contains the teacher's script notes. Script notes in Greek, don't tell me, is a skonakia. Yeah? So it contains a skonakia. And that way you'll be able to use it yourselves. Yeah. Would you like another one? This is called The Story of Debbie and Cara. Does anyone think they know this one? Put up your hand if you think you do. I love this. I love this clip. You're nodding. Okay. This is what happens. Sometimes students know what you're going to do, and they go, "I've seen this one." So you go, "Yes." You wink at them. You go, "You're in. We're in together. You're in on the game, yeah." This is the story of Debbie and Cara. It's a story from last year. Let me start with Debbie. Now, Debbie is young and single. She is good-looking. I suppose you could call her attractive. I didn't say beautiful, because we don't say beautiful so much, do we? We say good-looking, attractive. You might even say that she is gorgeous. Depends on what you're looking for here. Debbie is young, single, good-looking, attractive. She's got a good job. She's got an apartment of her own. Did I mention that she's single? She's single. And she's not altogether happy about that situation. My question for you is, why do you think she's single? A problem in life. What's her problem specifically? Very demanding. Okay, great guesses. Now, Debbie hasn't always been single. She was with a man 4 years ago called George, but what did they do? They broke up. Why do you think Debbie and George broke up? He cheated on her. Great guess, but actually he didn't. She cheated on him. In fact, it fizzled out. Great, love that. That's phrasal verb of the day. Well done, you win a prize. Sorry, I've left it at home, sorry. Actually, it didn't fizzle out. Debbie and George Debbie and George's relationship came to an end because of a very specific problem. And that problem is this. Debbie has an unhealthy obsession. Debbie has a very unhealthy obsession. Does anybody here want to admit to having an unhealthy obsession? No, don't say yeah. What's your unhealthy obsession? Black chocolate. Black chocolate. Any more unhealthy obsessions? Yes. Smoking. Is that an unhealthy obsession, or is that just an addiction? Which would you say? An addiction. Where do we draw the line? I don't know. Anyway, Debbie has an unhealthy obsession. I'm not going to tell you at this stage what it is, but put up your hand if you think you know. Okay. Now, Debbie is looking for love. What do you think she should do? Let's help Debbie. Go out more. She's been out, but, we think... I had a conversation last week about this, about going out. People say they just don't have time. Well, you could have all the time in the world. You could go out every night. Does that mean you're going to meet the love of your life? No, it doesn't. Yes. Okay, it depends on where you go. Okay, yeah, what's your idea? Internet, for example, internet dating. Why not? Why not? Speed dating. She tried that, actually, but it was over too fast, and there wasn't enough time for get the men's numbers. Anyway, this is what Debbie does. She decides to try internet dating. Has anyone here tried it before? Put up your hands if you have. Few people brave. I love bravery in the classroom. That's great. You see, internet dating, I don't see any problem with it. It's taking away what you might think the romance. But I have a friend who met online. He speaks very passionately and romantically about those first few moments that he exchanged messages online with his now girlfriend. He might even be here. I can't remember. Anyway, Debbie decides to give it a go, and she chooses a very well-known internet dating site, and it gives her the option to make a video biography. She gets the option to make a video biography. Now, what sort of information would you give if you were to make a video biography? Give me 3 pieces of information. Your name, your age, your job, your hobbies, things you like. What about unhealthy obsessions? No? Are you sure no? If you've got an unhealthy obsession, it might... Nah. Well, that's very interesting you say that, because Debbie isn't actually aware of just unhealthy her obsession is. So what she does, she selects one evening when she's relaxed and she's at home. She's had her dinner. She's actually brushed her teeth. She's put on just a little bit of makeup, not too much, just a little. She thinks it's good to go with the natural look. And she turns on her laptop and she turns on her camcorder. And she sees herself on the screen and she presses record and she starts talking. And she says, "Hello, my name is Debbie. This is my first time at online dating. This is the first time I've ever made a video biography. So I'm nervous, but excited at the same time. So I'm just going to start talking about myself, talking about the things I like, and I hope I get some replies. So I am a recent business studies graduate from Villanova University in Pennsylvania, I believe. I love..." And she says it. She says it. The word comes out of her mouth. What does she say? What does she love? "I love cats." That's it. That's her unhealthy obsession. Now, Debbie's just told herself on her camera that she loves cats. Now, I don't know if you can appreciate how serious this is. Imagine a Google image search. Imagine you type in the word cats and click go. What do you think comes up? Cats in baskets. What else? Kittens. What else? Cats walking through gardens. What else? Fat cats. What else? Sorry? Garfield. Yeah. What else? Catwalks. Yeah. Cats playing with string and wool. Yeah. Excellent. Cat sleeping on the sofa. Cat sleeping in beds. Cats wearing, yeah, bow ties. Cats on rainbows. Yeah, imagine all these things. This is what's going on in Debbie's mind. All these cats are flowing, streaming into her mind. And as the cats enter her head, something comes from her eyes. This is emotional. In case you haven't noticed here, this video biography is not going according to plan. It's too much emotion. She's suffering a bit here. But anyway, she wipes away she takes a deep, and she starts again and she goes, whew. Anyway, yes, I am a cat lover. And I love to run. But then the cats come back. You see, the problem with Debbie here is that she's not aware of how deep this problem goes. I've just been to Argentina, and it seems that everybody there has a therapist. It seems that there's more therapists there than bus drivers. And I think maybe Debbie might have had maybe something to share with a therapist. I'm not sure. It may have been a concrete situation where you might have wanted to talk to somebody, but she's never done that before, and she never realized how serious this problem was. And now, for the first time in her life, face to face with herself, it all comes out. For years and years, it was all kept, but now it all comes out. Debbie cries, lots of emotion. She can't finish the video biography. She turns off her computer. She goes to bed. She decides that she's going to delete the video in the morning. That's Debbie's story. Quite sad, isn't it? I'd like to introduce to you Cara. This is Cara. Now, in some ways, Debbie and Cara have a lot in common. They're both single. They are both young, both attractive. They both have good jobs. They both studied business. And they both have unhealthy obsessions. On a deeper level, Debbie and Cara are like chalk and cheese. Chalk and cheese, two things that are completely different, are like chalk and cheese. If Debbie is a cat person, Cara is a... If Debbie loves meat, Cara is a... Is it... Debbie is an introvert, Cara is... Cara loves to go out on a Saturday night, Debbie likes to... They're very different, in fact, you see. In fact, they've never even met. They're not friends, but their paths have crossed once, and that was last year. Their paths crossed last year on the 4th of May, 2011. That was the very day that Cara uploaded Debbie's I Love Cats video biography onto YouTube. Isn't that naughty? Isn't that the naughtiest thing you've heard today? And I think you might be wondering two things. Why did she do that? And how did she do that? Am I right? Well, let's take these questions one at a time. Why did she do that? Well, in order to understand that, we've got to get to know Cara a little bit better. Why did she do that? What's the very first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? The very first decision you make. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? YouTube. Go to the bathroom. Food. Food. Wake up. Food. Meat. Coffee. Well, you see, Cara, the very, very first thing she does is to grab her laptop onto Facebook. Put up your hand if you're on Facebook. She checks her Facebook. She looks at the number of likes that she's had, number of comments that she's had, and then it's on to Twitter. Put up your hand if you're on Twitter. So you'll know what I'm talking about. She checks her direct messages, her retweets, her mentions, her follows. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Then it's on to her emails. Emails allows Cara to check how many people have subscribed to her YouTube videos. You see, Cara has a YouTube channel and she uploads videos, and she's always wanting to know who's watching them and what they're saying. You see, all of these links and clicks and mentions and subscriptions and tweets and follows and likes and shares, these are the new currencies of the online social media, the new economy of the online social media, you know? And like money, some people just can't get enough. Is there anyone here that can identify with, be honest, identify with that? Are we not even like Cara, but maybe just a little bit addicted to the internet? Be brave, I know I am. Is it usual behavior? Is it usual behavior? It's quite usual. Is it rational behavior? Because you see, the thing that Cara does after she's checked Facebook, after she's checked Twitter, after she's checked her email and her YouTube, the next thing she does is to go back to Facebook and check Facebook. And why does she do that? Just in case anyone has left any sort of activity in the last 3 minutes since she was last there. I mean, you'd go for food, someone would go for coffee, you might go to the toilet. There's all these things you can do that need to be done in the morning. But this happens again and again throughout the day. So when Cara first saw that video, she knew that it was something special. She knew it had all the ingredients for success. And one thing that fascinates human beings, am I right in saying this, is other human beings. And Debbie is a fascinating human being. There's also the superiority aspect. If you were to see the video, you'd find yourself either laughing at her or feeling sorry for her, or probably both. And then, of course, the third thing about this video is the cats. Everybody loves cats, right? No? Well, whether you like them or whether you hate them, you know that the internet consists 90% of cats, right? Did you know that? 90% of the internet consists of cats. Sorry? Babies. It's not true. I'm making that up. But then 82.1% of statistics are made up on the spot. Did you know that? It's true. Anyway, Cara knew that this clip would be valuable if she uploaded it and if it became viral. What does that mean if a clip becomes viral? What does that mean? Yes. Popular. A viral video is a video which becomes very popular. People link to it. People click on it. People watch it. People mention it. People share it. People tweet it. People comment on it. All of this activity online discussion makes the clip more and more and more and more popular. But it's not just online. People find themselves even talking about these clips face to face. Imagine that, face to face. Face-to-face happens as well. It's not all just online. So Cara knew that this clip would be very, very valuable. And that's why she uploaded it online. And she knew that if it became popular, she'd get something for her CV. Some incredibly creative individuals out there trying to create videos, viral videos. They've got big budgets, big groups, lots of brains, but it can be difficult. She also knew that it would increase her online profile, her online brand. Possibly she could monetize it, she could earn money from it. And of course, she could get traffic spilling onto her other videos. So there was a lot for Cara to gain. And that's why she did it. But I imagine you might be asking yourselves, how did she do it? Am I right? Well, if you go home later on tonight, or after this session, if you take your smartphones and go to YouTube and type in "I love cats" and watch Debbie, and then look at the link underneath the video, which goes to Kara's website, where Kara sells t-shirts that say things like, "Sorry, I'm thinking about cats again." Watch the video, look at Kara's website. I think that you might just be able to work it out for yourself. And that's the end of the story. Okay, is everybody happy? No? You want to see the video, don't you? You use video in the classroom, right? It doesn't mean you have to show it in the classroom. You can let students go home and watch the clip, come back to class and discuss it. Don't worry, I know you'll go home. I know that you'll go home, and I know that you'll watch this clip, and I know that you'll be able to work out how she did it. Does anyone just have any ideas that you'd like to share? That's a good, but their paths only ever crossed once. And that was on that specific date. So, Sorry? It's a good guess, but the answer is actually much simpler. No, but good guess. Great guesses. Okay, I know this is uncomfortable, but I'm not going to show it to you. Okay? This is your homework. You're going to go home tonight, and you're going to watch that clip. You're going to look at Kara's website, and you're going to work it out for yourselves. There's a man here that thinks he knows the answer. I'm going to find out if he does or not. But he's not going to shout it out. He's going to whisper in my ear. Exactly. It had 21 million views. That is about 20 million views more than Kara ever anticipated. Can you imagine? Okay. Don't worry. You'll manage. And if you can't, you can always send me an email and ask. And I promise I'll tell you. Okay, I'll give you my email at the end. But I know you can. We don't know, because Debbie, since that day, has been a mystery online celebrity. And we don't really know if she ever found a boyfriend or not. Sorry? To this date, we haven't actually found that information out. Nobody has been able to trace her. Kara, on the other hand, is always there. Yes. Well, once you watch this video, you'll see exactly why. Can we move on to another activity? One more. I know you don't like that, but this is what I do in my classroom, and my students often throw things at me. As I say, I'm going to give you my email at the end of the day, and if you can't work it out, send me a quick message and I'll tell you the answer, okay? But only after your inquiries have been exhaustive, okay? This last story is a story about Jacques. Jacques. Say Jacques. Jacques. How do you spell Jacques? J-A-C-Q-U-E. Yeah, when I ask my Spanish students to spell Jacques, they always say J-A-C-K. But that would be Jack. And we're talking about Jacques. Exactly. Where's Jacques from? Specifically, Lyon. Yeah, Jacques is from Lyon in France. Has anybody been to Lyon recently? Yeah. Can you think of any other words in English that have j in them? Genre is the only one I can think of which begins with j, so well done. You would get a prize too if I'd brought any. Aubergine. De jour. Oh, yes. Oh, excuse me. Yes. Aubergine, de jour. Déjà vu, television. Courgettes. Yes, aubergines and courgettes. Yes. What about that thing you see in the desert that looks like water and you try and eat it, but it's just sand? An illusion or a mirage. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, this is a digression, isn't it? This isn't a very interesting story, is it? So what are the magic words when you do a digression? You say, anywhere. No, you don't. You say, anyway. Anyway, where were we? Jacques. Excellent story. One of the best stories I know. I'm glad you remembered it because I'd love to tell you the story about Jacques. You see, Jacques is from Lyon. Jacques speaks French. French says mm-hmm. Exactly, it says mm-hmm. He speaks French impeccably. He speaks French impeccably. His French is perfect. Of course it's perfect because it says mm-hmm. Yes. But he doesn't speak a word of English. Not a word. He doesn't speak a word of English. Is that a problem in this day and age, do you think? No? Could be? Sure? Well, you see, the thing about Jacques is that he lives in London. Did I tell you that? No, I didn't, did I? I forgot. Jacques lives in London, and he's been there for 10 years. Let's do a present perfect. Jacques has lived in London for 10 years. I would get you to... I would dictate that, actually, but I'm not going to. Jacques has lived in London for 10 years. Past simple. Jacques moved to London 10 years ago. More dictation. Jacques has lived in London since... Yes. Jacques moved to London in... 4 great sentences, aren't they? Really juicy, really meaty, lots of nice grammar. I would dictate them to learners and then try and get them to remember them without looking. Anyway, where were we? Ah, yes, Jacques. Now, Jacques has lived in London for 10 years, and Jacques doesn't speak a word of English. And you see, there's a good reason for that. There's 2 reasons, in fact. The first reason is that Jacques is old and slow. Old and slow. Not just mentally, but also he's old and slow. Poor, old, slow Jacques. The second reason is that he likes to keep himself to... Yeah, do you ever do this collocation, elicitation? Maybe students know it, maybe they don't, but it's a good way to get them interacting. And you can write these words, phrases on the board as you go along. Why not? He likes to keep himself to himself. Do you think he ever goes out? Yeah, he has to go out because he has to buy his courgettes and his aubergines, doesn't he? So he has to go out shopping at least once a day. So today, Jacques is walking through the streets of London. Old, slow Jacques doesn't speak of English. He's out shopping in London. He wants to buy... But there's one thing that Jacques had to get used to 10 years ago when he moved to London. What is that thing? The weather, the rain. It could have been. What else could it have been? Driving on the left. Now, this is another situation where I would give you dictation. I would say here, write down this. When Jacques moved to London 10 years ago, he had to get used to the fact that people drive on the left-hand side of the road. There's a lot of good grammar and language in there, isn't there? Just take that one little phrase, dictate it, and move on. It's a great little way to incorporate these techniques into storytelling. Once you enter the story, anything is possible, and you can make use of these little techniques. Anyway, where were we? Yes, when Jacques moved to London 10 years ago, he had to get used to the fact that people drive on the left-hand side of the road. Just like in Cyprus as well, where I was quite recently and almost got knocked over. And they said, but Jamie, you're from Britain, how could you get confused? And I said, it's not confusion, they didn't tell me. So this is, I understand where Jacques' coming from. You see, Jacques is old and slow, and he can't remember whether to look left or right first, and I can't remember either. If you're crossing the road in London, do you look left first or right first? I can't remember. You look right first, and then left, don't you? And then right again. And you see how confusing it is? Right. 3 blocks away, on the same road that Jacques is crossing, is Lindsay. Lindsay, the reckless driver. It's a good word, reckless, isn't it? Reckless. Lindsay, the reckless driver. Lindsay, the reckless driver, doesn't pay to the road. Lindsay, the reckless driver, does not look where. Is Lindsay, the reckless driver, a man or a woman? A man, because Lindsay can be a man's name or a woman's name. Anyway, Lindsay, the reckless driver, is not looking where he or she is going, and he or she is coming towards who is crossing the same road that Lindsay is driving on. Where is Lindsay, the driver? No, not 3 blocks. He's only... Did you hear what I said? Yeah, I never managed to get through a story without ruining it, ever. But that's my record so far. Lindsay, the reckless driver, is not 3 blocks away. He is only 1 block away. 1 block away from old, slow Jacques, who's crossing the road. And Lindsay, the reckless driver, is not paying to the road, and he's not looking where he's going, and suddenly, bump. Lindsay, the reckless driver, stops the car, opens the door, and he doesn't get out. He runs out. He runs out. He runs behind the car, and what does he see? Show me your hands. He sees, show me your hands. He sees old, slow Jacques upside down in the middle of the road. Upside down in the middle of the road. So what does Lindsay, the reckless driver, do? Lindsay turns Jacques the right way up. And he says to Jacques, what does he say? Are you okay? But poor old slow Jacques doesn't speak a word of English. And so he can't answer. He just stares back at Lindsay, the reckless driver. Lindsay, the reckless driver, repeats. He says, are you okay? If you don't answer me, I can't help you. But still, Jacques, not a word, because he doesn't speak a word of English. Now, Lindsay, the reckless driver, is about the same age as me. And if there's one foreign language that he learned at school, it is. And he thinks to himself, well, why not try French here? I'm going to try French. Why not? I've got nothing to lose. He thinks, I might as well try some French. So he says to Jacques in French, do you speak French? Which is, parlez-vous français? And Jacques says, oui. And then Lindsay, the reckless driver, asks Jacques if he's all right in French, which is, ça va? And Jacques says, ça va. So Lindsay, the reckless driver, goes back into his car and drives away and thinks to himself, in the future I must be less. Jacques continues on his way to the shops where he's going to buy courgettes and aubergines, and he thinks to himself, I really must get used to the fact that people drive on the left-hand side of the road in this country. And that's the end of the story. Did you like it? Can you explain this story? Is there any sort of meaning to it or moral that we can learn from it? I'm not gonna play the video for you. No, I'm going to let you hear it though. Your task is this. I want you to listen to the video and ask yourselves, why are people laughing? Okay?
sorry. Jesus, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you all right? Speak to me. Can you hear me? I can't help you if you don't talk to me. But... Oh, right. Parlez-vous français?
Oui.
Ah, ça va?
Ça va.
Any ideas? If you give me 3 ideas, then I'll show you the video. Oh, it was Jacques that spoke, yes. Why were people laughing? Yes. Sorry? A full Monty. You think Jacques was naked? So who said that? What did you say? Ah, it wasn't a real accident. Okay. Yeah, it was a strange voice, wasn't it? Jacques is a what? Jacques dead. Jacques a hedgehog. Jacques a turtle. Are you mad? Turtles. Jacques a turtle? Turtles can't speak French, can they? Okay. Here is Lindsay the reckless driver. And here's what happens. Are you ready?
Oh, shit. Sorry. Jesus, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you all right? Speak to me. Can you hear me? I can't help you if you don't talk to me. But... Oh, right. Parlez-vous français?
Oui.
Ah, ça va?
Ça va.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll just say a couple of things. There was 3 activities there. The first one's on the site. The second one is going to be a part of an ebook that I'm writing titled Videotelling. It'll be out by the end of the year. The third one, the clip's online, and I can send you the clip and also the teacher notes, the script, if you want to send me an email to my Hotmail address. If you send me an email, say you were here, I'll send you the video link and also the teacher notes for telling the Jacques story to your own students. Okay? Thank you very much again to Roger and everybody for inviting me. Thank you to you.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Jamie.
Tell me what you want to say, Roger, and I'll say it for you. He said, thank you very much for being here. He said, he needs a drink of water, and he says, ça va? And I, yes. No, I can't tell him that. That wouldn't be right.
Thank you very much, Jamie.
Thank you, Roger.
TESOL,
Oh, fantastic. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.